All right, we're going to talk about subtraction using place value. So I've got my place value chart over here. We're going to refer back to that. But let's start with a problem, and let's start with, how about 58 minus 27. Okay, 58 minus 27. Now, a lot of people are going to start by automatically setting that problem up one over the other. Now, we do this because of place value. So if we're thinking about 58, again, we can remember, if we don't see a decimal in our problem, that decimal is to the right of our number. So our decimal's here, which means we're looking to the left this way because we don't have anything to the right. We only have numbers to the left of our decimal. So we're looking at the ones and we're looking at the tens place. So we line up our ones, our 8 and our 7, and we subtract those. And we line up our tens, our 5 and our 2 in this problem, and we can subtract that way. So we have 8 minus 7, which is 1, and we have 5 minus 2, which is 3. But really, our 5 and 2 is really 50 minus 20. So that would be 30. So then our answer is 31. So if this way works for you, if this makes sense, by all means, continue to use that kind of traditional strategy to solve this problem. But if you want to think about place value and making numbers kind of hopefully make more sense in your head, we can take 58 and we can take 27 and we can break those up into their place values. So 58 is really 50 plus 8. We can always take those numbers and break them up into pieces into their place values. And then 27 is really 20 plus 7. So now we can do the same thing thinking about place value. We have 8, and remember we're subtracting. We have 8 minus 7, which is 1, and we have 50 minus 20, which is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. Now I'm going to show you in a minute why I added those numbers in the end, but notice we got the same answer, works the same way. This just helps us to see where those numbers are coming from a little bit better. Totally fine. Now, let's say we have 84 minus 39. Okay, so again, I'm going to break those numbers up into pieces because I think it's nice to be able to see the numbers that we're talking about and kind of understand them a little bit more. If I have 84, I'm going to do 80 plus 4. Now that number's broken up into its place value, 80 plus 4. And then 39 is 30 plus 9. Now remember, we're subtracting. So even though it says plus in between there, that's okay. We are really subtracting these numbers. So 4 minus 9. Now, if you are 7th grade or above and you have been talking about integers, this should make sense. We can use integers here. Now we can't do 4 minus 9 and get a whole number. So 4 minus 9 is actually -5. And then 80 minus 30 is 50. So now we're actually taking 50 and we're adding -5 to get this answer because we would have to do some borrowing. So 50 plus -5 is actually 45. Now I'm going to show you how that looks when we're working with our traditional algorithm. So if I have 84 and I want to subtract 39, okay, looking here, I can't do 4 minus 9, so I have to borrow. Now remember, this is the tens place, so instead of 8 tens, I'm going to have 7 tens. And instead of 4 ones, now I borrowed 10, so I have 10 plus 4, which is actually 14 ones. So now I have 14 minus 9, and I get 5. And then I have 7 minus 3, which is 4, so 45. So I'm getting the answer either way, but if you don't understand how the borrowing works, this might be a good strategy that you can use to do some borrowing. Now it's going to be the same if we are working with numbers in the hundreds or even the thousands, whatever. Let's do a quick 231 minus 160. Okay, 160. So I'm going to break those numbers into pieces. 200 plus 30 plus 1, and then 100 plus 60. I have 0 in the 1 spot, so I'm just going to put it there. Again, I've lined it up by place value, and I'm subtracting even though we see that addition sign. So 1 minus 0 is 1. 30 minus 60. So I know this is going to be negative because this number on top, this 30, is smaller. So this is actually going to be negative 30. And then 200 minus 100 is 100. So now I have 100 plus negative 30 plus 1. So 100 plus negative 30, so I'm really doing 100 minus 30 is 70. And then 70 plus 1 is 71. So there's my answer. Again, find a strategy that works the best for you. This is just one that might help you to make a little bit more sense of numbers thinking about place value.